Hi, I'm Dominic. Thanks for watching Dominic's Woodworks, and I have no idea what to talk about. That is, actually, I have too many ideas. Too many stuff has happened since the last shop talk, and I actually recorded one with the intention of doing shop talks more on a subject, not just giving you the update what's happening in my shop. That would be, yes, I pondered making shop updates for this, but then I remembered I did that before and it didn't fly, so I recorded a shop talk about the Demonic Woodworker, which is a side project of mine, which I have many, but I have talked to you about this, told you about this, and I actually created a channel which I haven't checked in quite a while because there was simply nothing going on. And well, I did a complete shop talk about my ideas, intentions, and the reasoning behind, well, not doing anything, and what I want to do with it in the future. So I probably should tell you about that. I want to tell you about that. But I also have several other subjects that I thought about doing dedicated shop talks for, but this aforementioned shop talk about the Demonic Woodworker has been sitting on my virtual shelf for, I think, 2 months now, and I didn't get around to editing it. So I should probably rethink the whole idea. Currently I'm in this phase where I'm working on a lot of projects and I'm making progress on all of them. I'm kind of waiting for this time when I hit the first bottleneck and then the second, and then I'm standing here and thinking I have 5 projects started but can't do anything. So we'll see whether that happens, or maybe I can avoid it this time around. I don't know whether you noticed, but I've published a number of Instructables, so I went through my old projects and published them. It was fun. It reminded me how easy it is to do Instructables for projects that you've already done. Just take a few screen grabs and write up some notes. And in a few cases I realized some things that I did not when I did the project, like, oh, there I could have just put a spacer between this and it would have been so much easier. At least over there it's easy to edit something in. Here in the video I could go back and add an annotation, YouTube annotation, but it's not the same as working that into the narrative. So I think I'll just do my best to get you up to speed. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you probably don't know, I decided to kind of clean out the one wall of the shop and then put OSB against it for the sole reason that I like this tool wall, and actually the wall behind me where I put OSB against here. You can see where I got my power tools. And I like the idea of being able to just screw something to the wall. I know I can do that with brick and mortar wall as well, with a hammer drill and so on, but A, it's not that easy in the sense that it takes preparation and time, and B, I don't want my wall to look like a Swiss cheese, even though I like that. With the OSB I can put a holder in, take it out, put it back in again, and I think it works pretty well, but the main benefit, I have to say, is that it's wood. It's not the... let me give you an example. This is part of a shop where you yet have to get to, and there's, well, plaster on the wall. It's nice, it's a good wall, but I think this looks a lot better. I like it. That's what I was aiming at. And yes, I still want to do a shop tour, but I want to do this wall, the one that I showed you as a negative example. I want to do that too. I still got some OSB scraps, the right size, or almost. And I'm still stuck with this idea of finishing the shop before I do another shop tour, but well, I'm starting to realize that this won't be for quite a while, so I might just do one in between, although I'd have to revisit the concept that I actually wanted to use for the old shop tour. And another subject that I've been meaning to talk about and to tell you, I'll do a video about that because it's a kind of a process and I'm using kind of a CNC, a paper CNC. I know I'm not meaning that backwards as in scissors, although that would be, now that I mention it. No, I actually got a craft robo, or silhouette as they're called now, which is basically you feed a piece of paper in and it can move it back and forth, and there's a sled with a little X-Acto knife and it can move side to side. So you can program it to complex paths, and well, let me show you. I won't say anything more about that, not this time around, but I think it's a handy tool, and I've used it in the past when I was making paper models for role-playing. I have this idea of cutting something out, putting it on wood, and then using spray paint like a stencil, obviously, then take it off and then take the router with a V-bit and route out the shapes. So that might work in a almost CNC-like fashion, although I'd still love to have a CNC in my shop, but I'll make do with what I have. And that's probably it. Yes, the Demonic Woodworker. I'm not making any progress with it the way I meant to do it, with puppets, string puppets, and a stage and such. I have had several different ideas, from stop motion to paper animation, in the sense of holding up a figure and moving it with several backgrounds and such. I'm just not convinced whether it would work. So I have thought about doing it as a kind of a novel, or I don't know, an audiobook perhaps, reading it, because I wanted to do some kind of music for this as well. I'd love to continue it, so I'd love to know what you think about the whole subject of it would basically be a fantasy story, as epic as I can manage. And I'm also aware that you, as a woodworker or fan of woodworking, might not be interested in fantasy stuff, and if you're interested in fantasy stuff but not woodworking, what are you doing here? Great to have you. Another tangent: when doing the Instructables and going through videos and taking screenshots, the first thing I notice is that it's hard to get a particular screenshot if all you have left is the edited piece with a fast forward. Most of it is fast forward. It might look nice in some cases, but I realized it doesn't in others. So I thought maybe cut down on the fast forward and try to work your way through this video based on the narrative that I've already recorded, without fast forwarding videos together, but to actually cut a piece out that might be interesting. But now I'm finished. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and my main channel, but I hope you already have. Tell your friends, and as always, remember to be inspired.